to place two layers on top of one another and change the opacity and change the way that the two layers merge together. So I have two images open here. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to the image that I want to be on the top. I'm going to use my move tool, which is the first tool over here, and I'm going to click on my mouse, and you'll see that my mouse turns to black. I'm going to drag it up to where it says Untitled 1 and wait until my second image appears. And then I'm going to drag it onto the image, and then I'm going to let go of my mouse. I'm not going to let go of my mouse all the way up until this point. Please make sure that your arrow is black the entire time. I let go, and then you can see that my image is on top of that. I'm going to transform this image so that it's the same size. So to do that, I'm going to press Command and T or Control and T on my keyboard, or you can go to Edit and go to Free Transform. And I'm just going to make that image larger so that it sits on top of my image. And then press Enter to accept. Now there's multiple ways that you can make these images blend together. I'm just first of all going to show you how to lower the opacity of this top image so that we can see the image below. In our layers panel over here, you can see that it says opacity and 100%. If this layers panel isn't here, you go to Windows and then just click on where it says layers. So where it says opacity 100%, we're just going to lower that opacity, and you can see that you can then see the image that is below. So you can do that up until any point you like and whatever you're happy with. The other option is that we can use layer blending mode, and a layer blending mode will give you a different effect each time. So where it says normal over here, you can go through this list, and sometimes the effect will come up, sometimes it won't. But as you hover through the list, it will give you an example of what those blending modes are doing. And the blending mode works by reading the image that is below, reading the highlights, the shadows, and the colours, and it makes a different effect every time. So you can go through this list over here, and you can see how that blending mode changes. This one's quite nice. Say for example, so you can go through the whole thing. Say for example, we choose pin light. Now what I can do is, again, I can now go back into my opacity and I can lower the opacity of that image. And so it still keeps that blending mode of a pin light, but it lowers the opacity of the image above. You can also use your move tool to move it around, the image around. So for example, I might want to place the center of my flower on top of the center of the other flower, like so. And that's how you change the opacity so that you can see both of the images. You can also add a third image, fourth image, fifth image, however many you want to do. But just remember that whatever your next layer would be, it is lower than the current opacity of the previous layer. So for example, if I was just to duplicate this layer by pressing Command and J, this time it's already at 68%. For my next one, I'd want to bring it further down to about 38 so that I can still see the image that is underneath it. And you can see here how it then starts to make a pattern, and I can change however I want and play around with that.